With WWE announcing that they're going to be doing a brand split come July, SmackDown is now going to be more predominantly featured. It's moving to Tuesdays. It's going to be a 2-hour show, which means we're going to get 5 hours of wrestling combined back-to-back days. It's a lot of wrestling. But another thing that it means is that we're going to be getting a brand split. WWE also announced that they're going to be doing a brand split and trying to make some of these new era guys a little more predominant. So I've compiled for you a list of my top 10 guys that I would like to see move over to SmackDown. I'm going to give you a little bit of reasoning to help push this thing along the way. Quick, I want to get something out of the way. Enhancement talent and divas. They're not going to be included in this top 10, but I'll give them a quick little honorable mention. I also have some new titles that I would like to see. Well, not necessarily new, but some titles that I would like to see on the SmackDown brand. I'll make a separate video for that. If you guys want to see it, drop a comment in the comment section below, let me know, or you just simply drop a thumbs up on the video and I'll get right on it. So first, let's knock these honorable mentions out of the way. We have enhancement talent that's going to be needed on the SmackDown roster. Don't get your panties in a bunch because of these names. I just don't see WWE focusing too much on these guys. We have Apollo Crews, Tyler Breeze, Titus O'Neil, and Neville. Those will be the enhancement talents that can be exclusively on SmackDown. Do I have a reason for it? No, not necessarily. I just see that WWE doesn't have much involved with these guys. Crews, Breeze, and Neville, on the other hand, they have a chance in which they could make an impression through these enhancement matches, and maybe that can help their stock grow. But if they stay on Raw, it won't happen. Raw is just too strong of a brand and it can get completely overshadowed. Whereas here on the SmackDown list that I have, they have a chance to grow and move up the totem poles. Now, if you're going to have a brand split, you're also going to need a diva, you're also going to need a female or a woman that's going to headline that division on that brand. And that's where I can see Bayley being called up. I can see Bayley being called up to headline SmackDown. If she's going to be out there with the likes of a Sasha or a Becky Lynch or a Charlotte, she's going to get completely overshadowed. Not going to be much of a fit. But if you put her over there in the island by herself, she can possibly be the top woman there. Along with women like, you could then move Becky Lynch over. You could have Paige over there and other women that WWE doesn't want to make a main focus. So, now that we have all of that out of the way, I would like to give you guys my top 10 talents that I would like to see on SmackDown. Number 10, the Vaudevillains. The reason I have the Vaudevillains coming over to SmackDown is because if they stay on Raw, they're going to be completely overshadowed. There's much more predominant talents and teams over on the Raw roster, or just bodies in general, and I can easily see the Vaudevillains with their gimmick being overshadowed. Now, if you put them on SmackDown, that may give them more concentration and more time to flesh out what that gimmick is, and I think that will help them out in the long run just by being on something that isn't too mainstream. Number 9, I have Alberto Del Rio. With him moving over to SmackDown, it gives him a chance to become an even bigger heel. And if Alberto Del Rio is a bigger heel and gets more concentration, I think that he could become an even bigger star. He could feud with the likes of all of these other names that I have on the list that I'm not going to say just yet. But I think that Alberto Del Rio could be a bigger star if moved over to SmackDown. Number 8, Enzo and Cass. These guys can be the spotlight of the tag team division here. You already got a huge babyface team in New Day, and those guys are big time. Cass and Enzo, while fan favorites, they're not as big as the New Day. New Day can stay over on Raw, and they won't be in the way of an Enzo and Cass, and the Enzo and Cass can be that spark plug that the tag team division on SmackDown can need. And also, wouldn't make much sense if you have New Day and Cass on the same roster when they both provide you the same thing in their tag team gimmicks, which is pure entertainment. Number 7, the Club. And I have the Club here with the addition of Finn Balor. Yes, Finn Balor. This one was a tough one because Finn Balor is such a wild card that he could manage to bring the whole club over to Raw, and then you would have like a guy like an AJ Styles. Like I personally think that all 4 of these guys should be lumped in together, but I'm not going to put them together. I do believe though that wherever the club goes, meaning Anderson and Gallows, Finn needs to be there as well. If you put him on there on Raw, he'll be overshadowed by the Romans and the Reigns, and people will not go for that. You put him over on SmackDown where he can headline, or he can grow to become a headline and get put over by guys so that he could be put in that spot along with the club, maybe. Or you can have your club, like, you got to keep these guys together, which is why I don't have them like individual here, because I have them all together because they're going to do together. And then if they eventually split, you have more talent that you could work with on the SmackDown roster. Getting back to the singles competitors, we have number 6, Cesaro. With other younger talent getting a push on that Raw brand, Cesaro's never going to get the chance to stand out. Let's just be completely realistic here. Cesaro's going to have a real big struggle standing out amongst those guys. WWE probably just won't put the stock into him. Now, you move him over to SmackDown, he probably could get more focus there. He may be away from events, he may be away from a Kevin Dunn, he may be more hands-on with a Triple H. And if you're more hands-on with Triple H, if Triple H sees you as a good guy, or a guy that he could put some stock into, he'll make you a huge star. Moving Cesaro over to SmackDown would be extremely ideal and a huge boost for his career. Move Cesaro over to SmackDown, he can showcase who he is, and he can become that top talent. Number 5, Sami Zayn. I can't see Sami Zayn getting over too big when it comes to Raw. They're putting a lot of focus in other talent, and so far we haven't seen Sami Zayn grow as a character on Raw. You put him over on SmackDown, you could put more focus in on this guy, you could put more character in on him, put more development in on a Sami Zayn. I think that some of these guys just need more focus, and if you put them away from where WWE deciding they want to put their main focus and not really focus on much else, you split them off, put them with another head guy such as a Triple H, if a Triple H is going to be one of the head guys behind the scenes on SmackDown, then we'll get the Sami Zayn that we've come to love, that underdog role, that character, the guy that's always scratching and clawing, always trying to get to the top, always falling short. We can get that guy finally on SmackDown. Number 4, Rusev Machka. This guy will be the workhorse, the absolute workhorse on SmackDown. He could possibly be the top heel. This guy has had a lot of character development, a lot added to his character over the past 6 months or so, and he'll get even more time to shine. Right now, if you keep him on Raw, he'll stay in that mid-card hell, and he'll probably be wrestling mid-card hell guys. Whereas you put him on SmackDown, you elevate him a little bit, that can possibly elevate what he's doing with that division, and I could see him just being a huge workhorse that he could teeter either between that mid-card, upper mid-card, and into that main event picture. He's one of those guys that you can move all around the card, and that's why you move him over here to SmackDown, because he'll just have that much more time to shine. Number 3, the Chris Jericho of the company, AJ Styles. AJ Styles is a top name, and he can move over to SmackDown, and he could get a lot of these guys over. He could put on great matches that you don't need him to do on Raw because you have those Shield guys over there. Spoiler alert, the Shield guys are staying over on Raw, so don't count them in my number 1 or 2. AJ Styles, huge name, huge talent that SmackDown will need. We know that WWE isn't going to put much stock into an AJ Styles, but if you do a brand split and you put AJ Styles on SmackDown, there's a huge possibility that he could be a world champion if put in that position. Also, he'll come in with a hot feud with the Gimmick Club. It's just a perfect fit to have AJ Styles on SmackDown. Number 2, Kevin Owens. You put Kevin Owens on SmackDown, and he instantly becomes a top guy. You see that they're wanting to push Kevin Owens to be a top guy, But as long as you have the Roman and the Reigns over on Raw, Kevin Owens, let's be real here. He's not going to get to that top spot. He's going to continuously job out to a Roman Reigns. You put him over here on SmackDown where he gets more focus and he gets featured more predominantly, and they put him in that position where they're already positioning him on Raw, and he can possibly get those wins that he's going to need to be a top guy. Now, why do I have him at number 2 and Sami Zayn all the way down at number 5? Well, it's not all the way down. I just put more value in those other guys, Rusev and Styles. I put more value in those guys than a Sami Zayn. But wherever Kevin Owens is going, Sami Zayn is sure to follow. And that leaves us off at number 1, and I'm sure you guys all guessed it. Whoop-a-doo, John Cena. They're going to need a top star to carry this brand. Somebody that's going to usher it in, somebody that's going to draw ratings from the start and put focus on these other talents. And who better to do it than John Cena? They've already phased John Cena out of the main event picture when it comes to Raw, but they don't want to phase him out of the top main event spot. You see that they don't want to do that when they put the US title on it. It pretty much became more important than the world title. So you take that same thought process, put him over on SmackDown, have him lead the thing, have him pop the ratings. You have him put all of these guys in a better position, give them all more focus, and there you have it. John Cena is the perfect guy to come over to SmackDown. Now, why don't I have The Shield and all of those guys over on SmackDown? I could also make a top 10 videos of why certain guys are going to stay on Raw and not move over to SmackDown. If you guys want to see that, you can leave that down in the comment section below as well. Also, drop a like on the video. It helps the channel out a ton. And give me your top 10 guys that you would like to see move over to SmackDown. And if you're not too lazy, you can also tell me why. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Adios.